Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Michael Oskam with ProWestRecording.com, and today I got a real cool video to show you. I got a really cool idea that I was reading in an article recently, and it's on the topic of de-essing, which doesn't sound super exciting, but it is a crucial part of the mix process. And this particular technique is real interesting, and you may find it really helpful. For those who are unclear or not entirely sure of what de-essing is, let's say you have a vocal. It's usually on a vocal, but you can use a de-esser for compressing other frequencies on things like guitar. But usually, let's just say in this case, like a vocal, and it has too much sibilance in it. So it has too much s and t and th and sh and all those cool noises. You can apply compression to certain frequencies or a smaller range of frequencies that compress and help eliminate those things because they can really stand out. But this technique is a little different. If you're going to be sending your vocal to a delay or reverb, as a lot of vocals are, and you have a lot of sibilance, or in this case, you can use this technique for plosives too, plosives being B's and P's. And you're sending it to a delay. When that sound gets sent back, or when it gets returned, and you're hearing the delay, it can be really, really distracting. So although you're using proper de-essing techniques, let's assume, still when it's coming back in the return, it can be, as I said, distracting. Especially if you're singing, let's say, a softer part, or your vocalist is singing a softer part, and you have some just normal vocal compression going on. Obviously, that's going to bring the quieter parts up, and it's going to bring the sibilance up with it. So it can be real distracting. So this article that I was reading approaches this in a manner that is interesting. Part of it I had already seen before with a mastering engineer that I've worked with, but not entirely. So I'm going to go ahead and explain it real quick. First, I'm going to play this. This is just a vocal, scratch vocal, and a little bit of guitar for a riff I'm playing with. And it has a lot of S's and stuff in it, so I thought it would be good for this. First, let's take a listen. I can tell she's used to being used. And it's just real rough, but you get the idea. And just a little bit of signal flow real quick. I have this vocal track, and I'm running it through, it's bused to through this Vox sub, which has my processing as far as dynamics, and then it's being sent, delay and Vox being sent to their own auxiliaries right here, and that's that. These sends are pre-fader, so we're getting a full send, and then I'm controlling the wet with these faders. These can't talk, these faders. So here's the idea. Melodyne, I'm using Melodyne as pitch correction. We live in a world where we need everything perfect. So a little bit of pitch correction. I haven't done it yet, but it's in my signal chain. And my de-esser here is de-essing on the way in. So this vocal has been de-essed, and that's cool. But as I was saying before, on my effects returns, the S's are still just a little too much. So here's what you can do to help combat that. You can duplicate your vocal track. So I'm going to create a new mono audio track, and let's just say this part right here. I'm going to copy it down, alt drag, and now I have a duplicate of it, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first take its output, because I don't want its output, and I'm going to send it to like what I call a dead bus. And I actually renamed. I have a bus that I've just renamed dead bus, and it goes nowhere. So the actual output of this track you're not going to hear. But I am going to send things off of it. So I'm going to also send to the delay, which this was sent. And I'm going to put that at nominal. But I'm not going to make it pre-fader. And I'll explain why in a second. And then I'm going to send to my Vox verb, which is the same as this was. And I'm going to put that at nominal. And again, I'm not going to make it pre-fader. And here's why. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write automation into this track. But first, for proof of concept, all I want to do is make sure that I'm hearing the return. Let me move these other instrument things here. The return of this track's sends. So just these. That's the proof of concept. So if I solo these and I mute this, remember this and this are the same. These are being routed together. If I solo this and my returns are solo saved, in theory, I should just hear the return. And that's what I'm hearing. I'm going to turn up the delay so you get a little bit. And as you can hear, most of it is just S's. Which is really annoying. Is one of these is annoying me. Anyway, so that is no bueno. So what we're going to do is this. You can come in here. There's two things you can do. In the article I was reading, this particular mixer would fully cut out S's. Now, I guess you can do that. By that, I mean chop up the audio and take out the S's. You can totally do that. It depends on the word. For this particular phrase, there's used to be and you. There's too many T's and S's too close together where it would sound funny. But there is something to keep in mind. All that we're focusing on is the return. The dry signal straight up that's coming through, remember, is going to a dead bus. We don't need to hear it. That's not what's important. What we want is an effect return that is minus the S's and T's and P's. So here we go. If we come in here real quick, we can actually write automation. You can see where this S is here. For this to drop. And I know that the other S is here. Used to be and the T. And I know that this is a plosive. Be and use right here. I know, my great vocals. So now, just listen to the return. It's pretty good. We're getting there. You know. So you get the idea. So now what you want to do, the last bit of it is, you want to bring back in this vocal. Because this is the straight up one. This, essentially. That's going to be processed with mind dynamics and all that stuff. We want to bypass these sends, or you could delete them altogether. We don't want the return from this because this has the stronger and harsher S's. And because this will be going on, it will mask the fact that these are being dipped down several dB. All we're going to hear is the nice return without as much sibilance. So let me see if I can play these together now. She's used to being used. Now I know what you're going to say too. Hey, well, Michael, you know, these all sorts of plugins, even the stock one, they have low pass filters, so you can roll off your high end to kind of eliminate those S's too. And you know what? You're right. But it's a little bit different of an effect. And if you want to know what makes a really good mix turn into a great mix, it's a bunch of little details like this that start to add up. Next time I'm going to cover a video on breaths and how important breath is. And if you listen to a commercial recording that's in the top 40, for example, the breath and the editing of the breath is as much an art form as the vocal. So these little details are important. Now I'm going to put it in, I mean, I would go in here and put a lot more detail into it, but now we can put it in context and it's already going to sound 100 times better. She's used to being used. And then I could even write volume automation, which I would do to customize the amount of delay and reverb coming in. Anyway, that was hopefully a shorter video, and I think that you'll find it really useful. If you can wrap your head around the concept and the routing, which isn't too difficult, I think you can use it in your projects, and I think you'll see really positive benefits from it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Later.